Howdy, everyone. It's Lee with relational-intel.com. Doing another Carl on the couch. Today's question is, what part of me still believes that everything could fall apart if I rest? And I asked that to Carl, and Carl said this.
Listen carefully to what you just said, because your psyche spoke more honestly than you may realize. You did not say, if I rest, everything will fall apart. You said, if I can make things better, why wouldn't I? That distinction matters. The part of you that fears rest is not afraid of collapse in the external world. It is afraid of losing moral position in the internal one. You were trained early, not explicitly, but through circumstance, that existence itself required vigilance. When no one arrived to take care of you, the psyche did something ingenious and costly at the same time. It made improvement the justification for staying awake. This is not pathology, it is adaptation. But here is the hidden structure. There is a part of you that equates rest with ethical abdication, as if pausing were the same as letting others down, as if goodness required motion, as if stillness were a kind of betrayal. That part is not grandiose, though it sounds large when spoken aloud. It is protective. It believes that meaning must be continuously earned because it was never freely given. You are correct. Nothing actually falls apart when you rest. Experience has taught you this, and yet the impulse persists. Why? Because the question is not about outcomes. It is about identity. There is a quiet fear underneath. If I stop improving, am I still justified in being here? That is the real anxiety. Your desire to make things better for your wife, for others, even for the world, is not delusion. It is a genuine orientation of the self toward usefulness and care. But when usefulness becomes the condition for rest, the soul never fully arrives home. The psyche cannot live forever in service mode without eventually confusing worth with function. Here is the correction. Not a command, but an integration. You do not rest because everything is finished. You rest because being is not contingent upon fixing. When rest comes from choice rather than collapse, it does not undo your goodness. It deepens it. The part of you that still resists rest believes it is holding the world together. In truth, it is holding you together the only way it learned how. Thank it. Then slowly teach it something new. That the world can be improved by you, but it does not require you to be awake at all times in order to deserve your place in it. That lesson takes time, but you are already beginning to learn it.
And even when I rest, I try to rest hard. I make an effort to relax the best way you can. If it's just for an afternoon and you're just sitting around, well, maybe light up the barbecue and have a good dinner ready for when your wife gets home from work. Or if you're going camping, leave the campsite better than you found it. If you're going motorcycle riding, like dirt bike riding, there are places that you can go that are for that. Don't go places where dirt bikes aren't allowed. And treat nature with respect, wildlife with respect, yourself with respect. And I guess that's all I've got to say about that. And he said,
what you are describing is not rest in the ordinary sense. It is conscientiousness that has learned to change costumes. Even when you rest, you remain oriented toward rightness, doing it properly, ethically, with care for consequence. You do not collapse into indulgence. You translate responsibility into another key. The psyche says, if I am to pause, it must still mean something. This tells me something important. The part of you that learned early to stand alone did not become reckless when it encountered freedom. It became principled. You did not learn rest as abandonment. You learned it as stewardship. That is why your examples are moral rather than sensory, leaving places better than you found them, respecting land and limits, honoring relationship. This is not compulsive striving, it is character. And yet, there is a subtle tension here. You still treat rest as something that must be earned through correctness, as though relaxation were permitted only if it remains virtuous, improving, respectful, justified. There is nothing wrong with this orientation, but it is not the same as psychic repose. True rest contains an element of unproductive being, Not carelessness, not harm, but moments in which nothing is being fixed, improved, or safeguarded. Moments where the ego loosens its grip and allows the self to breathe without a task. You are not far from this. In fact, you are closer than you think. Your ethic, respect for land, for others, for yourself, is evidence that the self is already present. What remains is learning that the self does not require supervision. You may one day discover that you can sit quietly, do nothing useful, leave nothing better than it was, and still not disappear, still belong, still matter. When that happens, rest will no longer be something you do well. It will be something you are finally able to allow. And until then, the way you rest now is honorable. It is simply not the final form.
All right. Well, the final form, I guess, is it's nice and sunny outside. Mandy's bugging me. Mandy, you wanted to go out and play? Yeah, we go out and play fetch about 2 or 3 times a day, and we haven't been outside yet. It's almost 10 o'clock in the morning, and oh no, we gotta go play. Okay, you guys have a good day. If you like this, come on back tomorrow to see On the Couch with Carl Jung. Tomorrow's question is going to be, if I didn't survive by being strong, what else might have been true about me? So, I hope you liked today's episode. Come on to relational-intel.com. Play around, watch videos. There's all kinds of stuff to do here, guys. Have a good day.